This video is going to cover the upgraded analytics interface within Innova's Web Portal. The main features of this upgrade are instant real-time changes on your KPIs. So you change a filter or a selection criteria, that will instantly be updated in real time in your KPI or on your chart. In terms of interface, we've got everything on one page. So you do your filtering, selection, and visualization all within this one interface. Customizability is hugely improved as well. You can minimize, maximize, and change this so it works on any screen size or orientation. So just to cover the interface, what we've got here is the Innova Web Portal. Within the Analytics side menu, we are on this Well Search page. Effectively, this is one interface or dashboard where you can run all of your KPI and analytics from. So, basic overview is in the left-hand panel here, we've got your filters. Down at the bottom here, we've got a grid that contains your filtered results. We have a donut here that shows you how many applicable wells are in your database based upon your filter results, and also how many you have selected. And then over here, we've got the main results area. Now we're going to look at how you actually use this tool to generate KPIs and analytics data. First step is filter your data. So right now we have a database with X number of wells in, and we want to filter that data. By default, we have include offset wells turned off. Offset wells we define as wells that have no data reporting data, and therefore no information that KPI or analytics data can be gleaned from. So by default, that's turned off. If I uncheck that, you can actually see there's 136 wells in our database. But if I turn it on, we can see that only 69 of those are viable for generating KPI data. So that's the first thing. That is turned off by default. Now we can go ahead and apply additional filters. So I'm going to do a very simple example here where I just filter by a couple of different operators. So only wells drilled under these operators will be included in our search results. And you can see here that our search results now include 33 wells, 26 from one operator, 7 from another. Okay? And that has updated our search results grid here. At this point, we can go ahead and refine our search results using any of the other search functions, or we can use our radius tool as well, which I'll just show you now because it functions slightly differently to all the others. So if I turn on my radius in miles filter option, you'll notice that my search grid has now emptied, and we now have this radius circle drawn on the map. You can resize the radius that you're looking under by entering in this cell. You can also change the center point by inputting lat longs, or more conveniently, by just dragging this over a given area and dropping. Okay. If any wells that meet all of our prior filter criteria fall within this radius, they will appear within our search results grid. So, very useful tool. I'll turn that off just now. And it returns our search results to 33 based upon these two operators. So if we zoom back out, we can see that we've got 33 results meeting our filters, but we can't see any of them on the map yet. And that's because we haven't selected any. If I check a couple of these are now selected, and you can see them appearing on the map. You can also see them updating on the donut per operator, and also the total number selected. If you want to select all of them in one go, check the top left box. If you want to deselect, same again. So filters, search results, and then select. This will update your map, and also these are the wells you've selected to run your KPI and analytics data from. Now, something I would like to point out is that all of this information is updating in real time. So based upon our selected wells, Okay, our charts, our KPIs will update in real time. Based upon our filters, we can change all of this, and it's instantly updating our results output window. Right, we're going to go ahead and look at some of the other KPIs now. So the well search page shows us this map. We've got depth versus days, again, calculating the KPI really quickly and instantly displaying. If we uncheck a well, it's going to update our KPI chart. Extremely quick and user-friendly. We've also got slide rotate, footage ROP in hours, our cost KPIs, parameter comparisons, BHA results, rig days. Big one for most people is this motor KPI. You'll see this one's slightly different in the fact that it's a grid based system. The drilling records KPI, so fastest section, max ROP, for example, and then our footage by various different parameter KPIs. So that's the general overview. We filter, we look in our search results, and we select, and then we can go ahead and generate our KPIs and view that information. I'd now like to look at some more specifics of the interface now that we've covered the general usage scenario. So one thing I would like to point out is the ability to rearrange your window. So people have lots of different display sizes and orientations. You can make this interface work on all of them. Okay, so you can expand it and collapse the left-hand menu here. You can also go ahead and hide the grids themselves once you've got your search results that you're after. So you can view your results to their fullest. You can also resize the grid column widths as well. As well as resizing, you can also, in your search grids option, you can go ahead and auto size the column widths. You can reset the column orders. You can turn off specific results from those columns as well. Okay, so even though they fulfill the criteria, you can hide them if you want to. You can also filter by particular criteria from A to Z, Z to A, or highest to lowest. If you want to turn that filter off, you just click it a third time till there's no up or down arrow. And again, even this table as it looks, you can go ahead and turn various columns off so you don't have to look at them. You can also drag them and change the column order. So really user adjustable interface here that you can make work on any size or orientation monitor. The next thing I'd like to look at is the specific context-sensitive menu items that we have, specifically in the results grid. So I'll just go ahead and minimize all this so we get a good look at the results grid. So on the map itself, we've got different layers that you can apply to the map, okay, in terms of state, county boundaries, and the various different plays that you've got on there. In other items such as depth versus days, we've got the ability to export to Excel, remove flat time from the grid, and also change the coloring system so it's not legended by well, but by phase color. Okay. Other menus, for example, only have the ability to export to Excel report. If we look, for example, at something like the motor KPI, this is a totally different format of result. It's tabulated. And much like the grid tabulation in the search results section, you can carry out all those functions again. Okay, so you can turn specific results on and off for display. You can turn columns off from being viewed, and you can also reorder all the columns. In terms of context, there's a different output here for exporting to XLS. Right now, if you filter any of this, it filters the entire grid. Okay, but you can also isolate these by selecting group rows, and then you can expand those so you can see all those individuals. But now it's grouped by individual wells. So when you do go ahead and say do a filter by state, it will only filter per well. Okay, it's not going to do it as a big grouped table. You can also turn those back off again and carry on doing a big filter. So that's just to make you aware of the specific options will change based upon the results window that you're looking at the time. Okay, there's a couple of other things I would like to mention, and they are specific to the filters. So let's go back to the well search page. I'll just bring the filters back open. And those are these two filters here, number of results and include non-drilling hours. These are specific to our drilling records section. So for example, max ROP. By default, the top 10 results are included, but the user can change these to whatever number they like. In addition, things that are related to a metric over time will be affected by the inclusion or exclusion of non-drilling hours. So by default, it's only on-bottom hours taken into account, but if you do want non-drilling hours taken into account for in this case, max ROP, you can go ahead and select yes. And this will update the KPI accordingly. So I think we've covered all of the main interface features, the flow of how you would go about using this tool, and some of more of the specifics of filter options and context menu items for individual displays. That concludes the overview of how to use the new upgraded analytics interface within Innova's web portal.